guys, it's Ashley, a scrapping nerd, and I'm back with a layout today that combines the Iron Crafter Challenge from Peacecraft Love with Paper Snob's 500 Subbie YouTube and Instagram hop. So congratulations to her. And for the Iron Crafter Challenge, our mystery ingredient was alpha stickers, and I pulled out a couple there, but I wasn't sure which ones I was going to use yet. And I pulled out that silver thread because for the Paper Snob's Subbie Hop, she wanted us to do a selfie and some sort of hand stitching. And so I pulled out that thread, but I will switch it out for some gold. And then my paper collection is from Prima Marketing Christmas Magic, and I have a bunch of ephemera left, and then I have a few 12 by 12 layout papers, as well as a bunch of scraps that I have collected. And so I thought I was going to use both of these papers, but I am just going to use the Santa paper here. I really like mixing patterns, and usually it works pretty good, but this Santa paper was too busy and I couldn't get it to work with that other paper from the collection. So you will see that I will switch it out for kind of this dusty rose solid-ish paper from my stash. But I wanted to do like a diagonal, and so I am folding this paper here, and I'm going to wet the seam so that when I use my paper tearing ruler to tear the paper, it tears a lot easier because this paper is really thick, which is really nice. I mean, that's a nice thing about Prima is they have really nice thick paper. But this is selfie is from last year at Christmas, and I'm wearing like these silver antlers, and so it was just a fun photo that I had found to be a selfie for the Subbie hop. And this layout I struggled a little bit with. It was interesting. Like I had an idea and then it wasn't working, and so I actually had to leave it for a couple days and come back to it. And sometimes that happens. I'm not sure why. Some layouts are just, they don't get your creative juices flowing as much as some other layouts. It's interesting. But anyways, so I took the photo and I just backed it in a thin white border just so that it stands out a little bit, and I will pop it up on foam. This Santa here that's in the corner, I will move to the bottom right, but this is like this main embellishment from one of the papers, and I fussy cut it out, and it took me a minute to fussy cut out, and so I was determined to use it. But finding a good place for it, I moved it around a bunch. And it being at the bottom, I really liked, but then it was then it was kind of showing on top of the Santa paper. And like I said, that paper is so busy. I love it, but it was hard. So I cut the corner of that pink paper off, and I'm going to put it on top of the Santas as well, just to add like another element, but really so that my embellishments and everything don't get lost within that Santa paper. I don't know what it was about this paper. I've used busier papers before, but everything kept getting lost in amongst the Santas there. And so I'm going to use this Martha Stewart punch that I have and just cut out like a lacy little border to add to the embellishment clusters. I thought I was going to layer the photo, but I decided to leave that kind of less busy since I have a lot going on, and I probably could have backed that in another color instead of the white, but it does pop it up off the page. But like I said, originally I had planned on layering more of the scrap papers. Embellishments around. And while I'm doing that, make sure that you guys check out all of the people that are playing along with the Iron Crafter Challenge. All the information for both of the hops will be in the description box below. But check out what everyone did with their alpha stickers for their ingredient, as well as go and give the Paper Snob some love. Congratulate her on her 500 subbies, and make sure that you check out everyone that is also playing along with that hop, where we're using selfie and doing some sort of hand stitching. And so for mine, I'm going to cut out these ornaments from this scrap paper that I have, and I'm gonna kind of layer them up at the top there, and I want them to be hanging. And so for my hand, that's for my hand stitching, is I'm going to stitch a thread so that they're hanging. And like I said, I can't put those alpha stickers at the bottom with the Santas because they're white and they blend in. So I'm going to paint them with, I have some metallic deco art paint in Splendid Gold. And I'm going to paint each letter, and I had to do like 2 coats, I think, no, 3 coats, to make sure that it was fully covered and all the edges were covered. I don't have gold spray, and so I put this gold in a little spray bottle and I water it down, but I couldn't spray the letters. They needed to have like a thicker application because they were such thick foam. But while those are drying, I'm coming back to my hanging ornaments here, and I just used my ruler and I drew some lines from the ornaments to the top of the page. And then I have this really old phone book. Like, who uses a phone book anymore? But that's to put underneath, and then I use the pokey tool to poke some holes in the line there. And then you could see I stitched it. I just had some DMC floss. It's really bright gold, and it's kind of like a tinsel thread almost. And I did a chain stitch for the very first stitch so that it made it look like that was the hanging part of the ornament. And then I did a back stitch for the rest of it, just to have those ornaments like they're hanging from the top of the page. And I really like how that turned out. And here's my title, and it just adds some gold. It brings some gold down to that bottom corner, so I kind of had this diagonal idea of all the gold. And I really like how that turned out. And so I'm just finishing up some embellishment clusters here. I wanted to say thank you to everyone who's liked and subscribed to my channel. I really appreciate it. If you haven't yet, go ahead and hit those buttons below. I would love to have you. And if you want to be notified when I have all my new videos, just hit that little bell notification there. And I think that's about it with the layout. I am going to take that gold paint that I have watered down, and I'm going to add some splatters around the layout. And they're not very thick. They're just a light little splatter. But like I said, that's the layout. I hope everyone has a great day. Bye.